Ghosts, glitching mirrors, haunted hotels. Yeah, we're reading your stories this week. So grab your security blanket, sis. It's about to get spooky.
For generations, women were shamed for trusting themselves, sensing things before they happen, and believing in their own power. No one encouraged them to embrace it until now. Welcome to Trust Yourself.
All right, guys, we're reading your ghost stories today. I am super excited because some of these are terrifying. I haven't read all of them. Heidi hasn't read all of them, but we each have some we're going to share because you know what? This is exciting to read stories that we don't always get to talk about every day because sometimes people are just going to dismiss it. I know every time I bring up ghosts or paranormal things or psychic abilities, I sometimes get the side eye and people get quiet. So I'm excited to get to actually say this out loud.
Also, the more we have weird conversations, the more people feel more comfortable to share them. So we can be your safe space.
Here we are. Bring it on. So first, I'm curious, Heidi, if you have any ghost stories of your own that you want to share.
I really wish that I had actual ones because I've always wanted to have some sort of encounter. The only one that I have, I shared on the last episode at work at the hospital.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but that's literally it. Like, I wish that I have been to a haunted house or saw something spooky. But even when we went to graveyards and tried to do ghost hunting, nothing really came out of that.
Well, also probably because you were just a little teenager trying to stir shit up and the ghosts are like, yeah, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, honey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With our little EMF machines when we were like 16.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you are interested in listening to Heidi's haunted hospital story, go back and listen to episode 27, I believe it was, where we talk about ghosts and 3 a.m. witching hour, because Heidi has an awesome story about her night shift nurse adventures.
There's a spooky corner in the hospital, guys. There's always a spooky part of the hospital.
I've got a couple spooky stories. One is actually just happened recently this summer. I took the family up to Glensheen Mansion up in Duluth, Minnesota. If you guys have never been there, absolutely gorgeous. Please go. It is an amazing mansion, but it is pretty haunted. However, because it's now owned by the University of Minnesota, everyone there will tell you, oh no, it's not haunted. Nope. We don't want to be known for that. But it totally is.
I honestly, there's a house here, like a mansion here, Victoria's Mansion, I think it's called, in Maine. And I was talking to somebody who owns a store in Portland called Something Witchy. And she was saying she used to work at this mansion and it's 100% haunted. She's a psychic medium as well. And she had people that she knew that wanted to go on like a ghost tour there. And she was like, I would love to host it. I would love to tour people around here. And she went to like the manager, whoever called the shots there. And they were like, nope, we don't want to be known for that. We're not doing anything like that. I'm like, you guys missed opportunity, because do you know how many people would pay you so much money?
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are like, no, we're not going to do it.
In this case, I think it's out of respect for the family, the Condon family who built this mansion, because there were some murders that happened there. And some of the family is still alive, and it is disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful to the family, but when we were there, I was talking to my kids I actually told them about the murders, which I probably shouldn't have.
I love your parenting style, sissy.
Hey guys, guess what happened here? Do you want to go?
Murder. I bet Nora ate that shit.
Oh, she loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I told them kind of jokingly, hey, just look around. You might feel some weird things, see some weird things. And we're going through each room and I'm taking pictures. So we got into Marjorie's room, which was one of the daughters of the original family. And it's just not to be confused with the actual murderer that was Marjorie. There was another Marjorie prior to that. So it was like her great aunt, Marjorie. We got into her room and Harriet looks around. She goes, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful here. I love this room. This is my favorite room. I would choose this room if I lived here. And I take a snapshot of her and I took a couple as she was saying that. So I do have evidence. One picture before, Totally normal. The next picture right after that, I shit you not, guys, there's a face, a ghosty face right behind her.
So
Probably
creepy.
Marjorie being like, oh, thank you. I love my room
Thanks,
too.
sweet girl. We should definitely make a post on Instagram with that picture because
Yeah, I'll add it right here in the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool because it did look like just a white little orb right next to her at first. But when I zoomed in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that's an eye and a mouth. That's creepy. And I showed the kids and they're like, oh my God. They loved it.
And then she must have told all her friends at school, right? Because they were all hounding you.
She did, because the next day at school, everyone came up to me. Oh, Harriet's mom. Can I see the picture of the ghost? And I became the popular mom that day at pickup.
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to just be like the creep. Like, just can you imagine when they figure out that you're a psychic medium and that you talk to ghosts too? Like, oh no. I love it.
Watch
Our
out.
kids are gonna hate us.
I think it might be more of the hate, but that's okay. More of the like eye roll. Oh my God, not again, mom.
Yeah, like Teresa Caputo's kids, right?
Right. The other ghost story I wanted to bring up wasn't actually from me, but it was from my son, Frankie. And it was when Frank was maybe a little over a year. He was still in diapers and I was changing him, and he was old enough to talk. So maybe a year and a half. I don't know. I can't remember how long he was.
I don't know.
He was in diapers still.
It's a blur.
Absolutely. Everything is a blur.
In blur.
Totally forgot it. Anyway, I was changing his diaper and he all of a sudden looks over to the side and he looks kind of nervous. And I'm like, what's going on, Frankie? What's happening? Actually, wait, I'm getting these confused because that happened one time he was nervous, but this time he was actually giggling and pointing at something behind me. He definitely sees spirits.
Oh yeah, so his whole life.
Yeah, so he saw something behind me. He's giggling and he's like, like something was playing with him. And I'm like, Frankie, who's there? What are you doing? And he goes, it's Papa 2, which for them, Papa 2 is their great grandpa, my papa, who passed away when Frankie was 3 months old, I think.
Yeah.
Not even old enough. He would not know him. And I was like, oh, how do you know it's Papa 2? And he goes, because his elbow is scary. And I'm like, what? Papa fell out of a tree when he was young. And ever since then, he's had this really big elbow. And it was like, it looks kind of funny, and he could never put his arm straight. And Frankie said he has a scary elbow. It looks like it exploded.
Yeah, it's accurate. Was it a tree? I think I've heard a different story.
Oh, maybe it was something else. You know, those Alwins, they
like to
tell
I
their
heard a story that he fell from like a second-story balcony, and like
maybe
his arm was hanging off was just hanging on by his artery, and like the whole thing was just completely fallen off, which honestly could track because they sewed it together back in 1930, and he was born in if he was 10, wasn't he born in 30? Oh, maybe he was 30. Yeah. Anyways, so it was back in the day, and like they sewed it on, and it was like, not great. Surgery wasn't great back then. And so it's very much like janky ass sewed, and he can't like picture Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like her just like sewing her arm. Like that's always what I thought about for Papa. He didn't care.
It's so
but
funny.
It's true.
I guess through the years that story exaggerates more and more every time.
I actually feel like now I need to call mom after this and be like, what's the real story? Like, what happened to his arm?
But also what he said was, Papa tickled my ears, and I didn't know this, but I called my mom and I'm like, oh, Frankie's apparently seeing Papa too because of the elbow. And then he said something weird about tickling his ears, and mom goes, oh, stop. He loved to go behind us and like play with our ears when we were kids. Just be like, tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah. I'm like, well, that confirms it. It's Papa.
Yeah. What about the other story, the scary story with Frankie?
Oh, Pumpkin?
Yeah, Pumpkin.
Yeah. So that one freaked me out too. When he was little, he would see things. He'd just like look over, and we're all having dinner, sitting at the dinner table, which is next to our stairs to go to the second story. And all of a sudden he's looking over at the stairs. And he goes, oh, there goes Pumpkin. And I'm like, who's Pumpkin? What the fuck is Pumpkin? And when we went upstairs that night, we're like, okay, it's time to get ready for bed. I'm carrying Frankie up the stairs and he goes, Mom, there's Pumpkin. And I'm like, oh, hi, Pumpkin. And I'm walking up the steps still. And he goes, oh, Pumpkin doesn't like you. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
Well, tell Pumpkin I'm sorry, but this is our house now. We never did find out what Pumpkin was. We're like, was Pumpkin a cat? Was Pumpkin just this weird little ghost kid? I don't know.
Didn't he say Pumpkin lived in his closet or...
Yeah, there were a couple things that lived in his closet. Also, like this green pirate. He said there was a green pirate that lived in his closet that screamed swear words at him.
Oh, fuck me.
Which was terrifying. That poor
kid. And now he doesn't sleep in his room.
He sleeps with his sisters. I don't blame him.
Buddy. Seriously, though. Yeah, wild.
Okay, sorry. That was a lot about our ghost stories. We are here. We are going to read yours, but I thought it'd be fun to share some of the little ones that we had too. So what we have, you guys have sent in some amazing stories. Some of them are ghost stories, haunted, creepy stories, and some of them are actually really sweet stories about your loved ones that have passed on and spirit messages being sent to you. So I'm excited. We're going to read both. We're going to read all of them.
All right, let's start.
All right, Heidi, kick it off.
Okay, so this one is from Priscilla from Brazil. She says, my dear uncle was in the hospital after driving his truck off the road downhill, and he was not doing well. My mom had a lot of cases of sleep paralysis, but I never had. That night that my uncle had the truck accident, I slept with my mom, and I had my first and only sleep paralysis. I could see the whole room, but couldn't move, and deep inside, I felt that he had passed away. On that morning, we received the call that he did indeed pass away in the middle of the night. Now he visits me in my dreams, and I just got goosies.
Oh, that is so cool, Priscilla.
Thanks, Priscilla.
But also, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's sad. Yeah. But wow. Also, sleep paralysis scares me. I have had that happen once, but I also blamed it on me just being groggy, tired. But I don't like that. That feeling that you're not in control of your body. Ugh.
I've never had it, and I don't want it ever. It's scary.
I had it when I was sleeping in this room, which we used to have as our guest bedroom
in your house,
which is very haunted. If you've ever noticed like orbs floating around in my background, that's it. Well, some of them are little gnats, probably from my plants, but there are some spirits here.
You live in a haunted house.
Yeah. Anyway, when it was a guest bedroom, I did have the sleep paralysis here, so that kind of tracks.
Yeah, terrifying.
All right. Our next story is from Elia from Melbourne, our little Aussie friend here.
I love this. We're so global, guys.
All right. She's got a good one. So she said, hi, I have a spooky story. So my partner and I at the time were living in a townhouse building with two friends in Melbourne that used to be a part of a mental asylum. You know this is going to be good when it's got to move a little bit.
It's a great start.
These friends and my partner are not the kind of people I would describe as being at all superstitious or tapped into the woo-woo, so we would just joke about ghosts a few times, but we weren't really spooked. A year in, my partner and I are sleeping in the top floor attic and suite, and my partner starts talking in his sleep, which he never does. I think it's funny, so I'm just listening and trying to respond and see if he keeps talking.
I've done that to Mom before.
That's hilarious. He is saying something about Henderson and that she's all right. I told my partner in the morning and he was like, well, that's weird because he can't think of what it might refer to. But I didn't think anything of it and I thought he wouldn't either. But unbeknownst to me, he goes and researches the Q Asylum, which is the asylum that they're living in, and finds out that the asylum was closed after a woman named Margaret Henderson had been drowned by the caretakers there after years of mistreatment.
Oh my God, I have bloody chills.
And then, of course, I wanted to do my own research and I researched the Q Asylum and holy shit, it is gorgeous and creepy. And I could totally see ghosts being in that building, but it was a decommissioned psychiatric hospital located in Kew, which is a suburb of Melbourne, Australia. And it was operational from 1871 to 1988. And Kew Asylum was one of the largest asylums ever built in Australia, but overcrowding, mismanagement, lack of resources, poor sanitation, and disease were common criticisms during their first 5 decades. I also thought it was fascinating that after reading about this asylum, some of the reasons patients were admitted to this hospital, it was really disturbing. Some of them were delusion, insanity, dementia, epilepsy, general paralysis, idiocy.
Oh, great. I dubbed the idiot.
Inebriation.
Oh, great.
Oh, and melancholia. So if you're just sad or drunk or hungover, you're going to probably go to this asylum.
That's wild. But that is a gorgeous building.
Right?
I wonder how many townhomes they put in that because it's huge.
I have no idea, but it looks amazing. And I would love to do paranormal investigations there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thanks for sending that in, Elia.
Okay, this next one is about a past life. And this one is from Scott from Maine, who is also my improv partner, friend. Shout out, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
And shout out improv because improv is awesome, guys.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I can't, but good job, Heidi. Good job, Scott.
Okay, so Scott says, in my past life, I was a soldier killed in Vietnam. I remember being carried off a helicopter on a canvas gurney. Nurses and medics all in white all around me. I died before they could save me. Years ago, I visited the Vietnam Memorial Wall, and the feeling was almost unbearable, an anxiety I could not place. My mom had a childhood friend that was killed in Vietnam. Maybe I was him. I believe, right? I believe that we as a species are connected to a greater realm beyond this plane, greater than this existence. So when you say that you accidentally channeled Taylor Swift's past life, then explore that which is your truth. Thanks, Scott.
Oh my gosh, Scott. Okay, so was he an American soldier then?
I don't know. That's all he said.
Yeah. Wow.
I will ask him though.
I mean, but to have that vivid memory of being on a canvas.
That's crazy.
Gurney. Oof. Oh gosh.
And even just to like know that you could almost remember your death. Like that's crazy.
Whoa.
Also, I feel like a lot of people that when we've been researching past lives, it's like kids will remember, but you don't really remember as an adult. But it's cool that he could even really remember that.
Yeah. Although he probably doesn't want to remember that. Sounds tragic.
Yeah. Trauma. Okay,
this one is from Paul from Mississippi. And I do want to just note here that there's a trigger warning for self-harm. So if you don't like this, fast forward. That's what it sounds like, right?
That's what it sounds like to me. It used to sound like that.
Yeah. Oops. All right. He said, spooky story. While in the Navy, I was stationed in Bremerton, Washington. Our ship was dry docked and going through extensive maintenance. I found a roommate and we rented an apartment near the ferry station that goes to Seattle. This apartment had a weird, narrow, winding hallway that zigzagged and sloped in gradual incline towards our upstairs apartment. At the end of the hallway, there were 3 doors, one facing the length of the hallway and 2 more side by side on the right. Both of these doors would shut themselves gently. There may have been 3 or 4 of us present to witness the door leading to the living room open itself, slowly creaking open, and then slam shut so hard the apartment shook.
Fuck that. I'm out.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
Break my lease. I'm done.
Yeah. At times, objects would fall off the shelves in the kitchen, one at a time. The spookiest thing happened to me and then later to my roommate. We had friends over one night, a couple. I let them stay in my room and I slept on the recliner in the living room. Oh, that's nice of you. I woke up sometime after midnight cold. There was enough light in the room from the moonlight to see. My blanket was pulled up to my knees. I reached down and flopped the end of the blanket over my feet again and went back to sleep. Later, I woke up again, cold. This time, the blanket wasn't covering my whole lower half. I threw the blanket over my legs and went back to sleep again. And again, I woke up cold. Again, the blanket was uncovering my lower half. This time, I took the end of the blanket, tucked it under my heels like a foot taco, but didn't fall back asleep. I frickin' wouldn't either.
Yeah, no.
This time, I lay awake with my eyes fixed towards my feet. As I lay there, I began to get the feeling of chills at my feet. I watched as the blanket was pulled out from under my heels and then slowly moved upwards, the chills moving along with it. I heard cascading whispers and felt my arms.
I know my whole body is fucking goosey so hard right now.
I heard cascading whispers and felt my upper body was being pinned down as the fuzzy cold feelings washed over my entire body. Still watching as the blanket was uncovering my legs, I managed to free myself and leapt out of the recliner. I ended up pulling the TV over to the balcony door and watched The Emperor's New Groove on repeat from outside until the sun came up.
Brilliant move, first of all. Oh my God.
I freaking love it. I love The Emperor's New Groove. And also, anytime I'm terrified after reading a scary book or watching a scary movie, I always put on cartoons.
Yeah, you have to. You really have to.
Wait, I'm not done. Okay.
Oh God, no.
Well, then he just went on to say, one of our neighbors was a journalist from the local paper. She did some digging on the apartment and found that there had been someone that had taken their own life 6 months before we moved in. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm moving.
Paul.
I am.
Damn.
I feel like, I think, did we even talk about this on a podcast episode yet? But I know I've talked about it on TikTok too, where I feel like poltergeists and all of these energies are physical manifestation. Yeah. Like they're physical manifestations of people's trauma. And if somebody, had so much heavy baggage there, it is 100% feasible. And in my mind, it makes sense that there would be some sort of activity like that there.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. But yeah, I'm bouncing. Like, definitely couldn't pay me to live there. Definitely not going to pay to live there.
No.
I mean, it could be free. But
maybe just for one night for like an investigation. Other than that, no thanks.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, this next one is from Jenna from Wisconsin. When I was little, my grandmother had this old gilt mirror, which is a wooden mirror that has been coated with a thin layer of gold leaf through a process called gilding. Everyone in my family swore it was haunted. I mean, mirrors are terrifying.
They are.
Like, especially antique mirrors.
I feel like they're all portals too in some way.
They are.
They're scary.
Okay, sorry. I'll just keep going. But I just thought that they were just being dramatic until one night when I stayed there alone. Dun, dun, dun. Around 2:45 a.m. Mm-hmm.
Always 3 a.m.
I woke up thirsty and went to get a glass of water. As I passed the mirror, I noticed movement behind me. Thinking it was just my reflection, I kept walking, but then my reflection didn't move. Fuck that.
No.
I stood there staring straight ahead while I froze mid-step. My reflection smiled. I didn't.
Stop it.
I feel like something was on my face. It scared me. This is scaring me, guys.
I don't like it.
Years later, I was telling my cousins about this. One of them freaked out and said that the same thing happened to them, but they saw their reflection morph into an old lady. Ew.
What? That's disturbing.
I'm never getting an antique mirror.
No. Okay, what kind of trauma had to happen to make that happen?
Why did your grandma have this mirror? Why did she keep it? I would have burned it. Can you burn a mirror?
I don't know. You can throw it away though.
Terrifying. I don't like it. It's a great story though. Fucking fabulous story.
Yes, nice story. Okay, this one is from Tasha from Indiana. I travel a lot for work and always request the highest hotel floor. It's quieter. Yep. That's what our mom does all the time. Yep. She's like, highest floor, farthest from the elevator, less noise. Yep. I get it.
The seasoned travelers know.
Yes. But when I checked into this historic inn last winter, the only room available was 217. The clerk hesitated before handing me the key and said,
No. I'm already. Also, the fact that she remembers the number, it's like, it's going to be bad. Okay,
I'm preparing myself. I'm out.
If anybody ever like hesitates to give me a hotel room key, I'll be like, never mind. I'm going to a different hotel.
Or call me up and we'll do an investigation there together.
Yeah.
Okay. So the clerk hesitated and said, "Don't worry about the noises. It's just old pipes. Everyone complains, but I promise it's old pipes."
Fuck that.
So guess what happened? In the middle of the night, I woke to a woman crying softly in the corner.
Oh, it's just pipes though. It's just pipes. Yeah.
I could hear her, but I couldn't see her. I tried going back to sleep, but I couldn't. In the morning, I noticed a voice memo I'd never recorded on my phone. It was someone whispering, but I couldn't really make out what it said. And guess what? It was recorded at the same time that I woke up.
No. Nope.
I checked out that morning and later Googled the hotel. Turns out room 217 was where a woman had been found dead. Yikes. Also, I want to know what hotel this was, Tasha.
Yes, please.
Let me know.
I will not go there alone.
Go.
But it's like if I have like an army of people with me, experienced paranormal investigators and my sister,
yes.
I would do something like that.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Never alone.
Even with my husband, I'd still be kind of scared. Like we both feel vulnerable sleeping alone in the room. And I want a team with me for sure.
Yeah. I would just be prepared to just not sleep and just be like, I'm staying awake.
Yeah.
All night.
We should look up some haunted hotels near us and stay there for a sister's trip. And then do an episode in the hotel room.
I fucking knew you were going to say this. Why am I such a scaredy baby all of a sudden?
Come on.
What happened to me? I would do it with you for sure. I would do it, but it's like, I'm going to.
Because we're going to do it. Sorry.
I'm going to not sleep so we can only do it for one night. Okay,
so now we're going to get into some of the more lovely spirit stories from our loved ones that have visited us from the other side and sent us some messages. So Heidi, you have one.
Okay. Emily from Scarborough, Maine. I had a session with a somatic practitioner for the purpose of working through some post-relationship grief and anger I was processing. Side note, somatic work is amazing. But as you know, those feelings are about patterns that often run so much deeper than a recent relationship. So we dove deep into the structure of what led me to that relationship to begin with. And we landed, you guessed it, with my mother.
Why is it always moms?
I know, right?
Sorry, mom issues.
You know, I can't wait to see what kind of trauma we cause our kids.
Oh, it's going to be a lot.
Of course, because as it goes, so much of adult life is informed by that first relationship.
Yeah,
I've done a tremendous amount of work around the mother wound, and my mom and I are at the best place we've ever been. Yay. It's been a journey, but I am at a place of acceptance with who my mom is rather than wishing her to be the mom I really wanted and needed. My expectations of her are now commensurate with reality, and as a result, we are a solid good.
Good.
Yes. Okay, back to the session. So I end up doing an exercise where little girl me has a conversation with my mom, and then I sit on my mom's seat and converse back to little me. Cool stuff. But then my grandmother got pulled in. My grandmother passed away 24 years ago, and I've never had her come through any kind of medium experience. But dear Lord, did she show up in this session. When I sat, quote unquote, in my grandmother's seat, I was immediately floating, ethereal-like. She came through hard with the message to forgive and move on. Forgive yourself, forgive them, move on, end quote. It was almost like marching orders. The message was to keep your heart open through the act of continual forgiveness. She then delivered a full-bodied "I'm sorry" to my mother, one that landed so deep in my body as I sat in the seat as my grandmother. I then needed to sit in the seat of my mother to receive it and then pass it to little me. Ooh, chills.
Whoa, this
is deep.
Damn.
When I got back to the little me seat, I giggled because I could see it so clearly. The generational experience, the doing the best they could, the freedom of forgiveness. It was so cool. Yeah, that's super cool. But here's where it got wild. Several weeks later, I was having coffee with my mom, and unprompted, she apologized to me for being so critical of me as a child, for all the nitpicking, the micromanaging.
Wow.
I hadn't told her about this session. So sitting there and receiving her full-bodied "I'm sorry" was one of those moments I'll never forget.
That's huge.
Yeah. That's really cool. The ability to pass my somatic session off as quote unquote cool was no longer possible because I was suddenly living in the ripple out impact of the healing that occurred. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't happenstance. It was one of those, oh my God, generational healing is real kind of moments. And I'm so deeply grateful for it. That's incredible.
That's so cool. So cool.
Thank you for sending that in, Emily. Seriously, it's like when we do mediumship readings and when I do like even body scan, soul scan readings, I can see like and feel these generational links, and I can sense when people are breaking them. And I'm like, oh, you're the cycle breaker. You know, this was happening to you. This happened to your mom and their mom. And like, it's just, you are now stopping that. And it's wild when you can feel it, see it, sense it. So that's, generational healing is deep and needed.
Yes, it's so beautiful. Okay, our last story I'm excited about because it's from our Auntie Susie.
Hey, Auntie Susie.
This is so cool. She actually called to tell us that she loved listening to our podcast, even if she doesn't get everything, which is totally cool, Susie. I get it. You don't have to get everything.
Nope. I don't get everything.
But she wanted to, I don't get everything. But she wanted to tell us that she had this interesting story, and she wanted to share it because she knows that we like to read stories on our podcast. So this is from Susie from Naples, Florida. So first, a little backstory. Susie lost her husband when she was pregnant with their second child, and their first child was about 2 years old, I think. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ever since then, I fully believe that she's been protected by her husband in beautiful ways. And she also lost her mom and dad. So I think she's got lots of angels up there watching over her. So this is one of those angel protection stories. So she lives in Naples, and she was visiting her daughter Megan in Orlando for the day to have fun, say hi. And it was getting time for her to head back home because they both had to work in the morning. And as she was leaving and saying goodbye, Susie's earring got caught in Megan's hair, and they were just giggling about it, but it wouldn't come out. And it delayed her by probably like 30, 45 seconds. And Megan's husband, Alex, had to come in to intervene them, like to figure out how to get her hair out of Susie's
to
earring.
physically separate them.
Literally to get them separated. And they're just laughing about it. So it delayed her a little bit, but she didn't think anything of it until she's driving home in Orlando traffic on a 4-lane road, and she notices a car traveling the wrong direction with cops blaring behind it. They were driving erratically, and it was driving straight towards her in the opposite direction. And all of a sudden, it crashes into the car directly in front of Susie. So had she not been delayed by those few seconds, I think this would be a different story.
That's fucking wild.
But it turns out later she looked into it, and this guy was running from the cops because he had stolen credit cards in his car. So we all believe, I totally believe that it was her husband and her mom and dad protecting her that day. Like, just how they could. Let's use her earring real quick, and won't that be funny?
Well, and I love that it was just like as they were hugging each other, because I mean, Susie even says she always gives long hugs when she's saying goodbye, just because of everything in her life. But it just was lovely that it was a hug that had to be a little bit longer. Like but that is so wild. And I do remember that she said she didn't want to read about what happened to the car in front of her just because it's too scary. But that was
I think
was a
they
wild
actually
story.
were okay. I looked into it. They
Did
are
you?
okay. But still, like that's
terrifying.
That's scary.
Oof. Just a few seconds can really could have been. I love it. These stories were amazing.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for sending these in. I love them. I hope you loved them. And if you want to hear more, keep sending in your stories. They don't have to be ghost stories. They can be intuition stories, anything you want, or just like to say hi. We like to know who our followers are. We love interacting with you. So
Slide into our DMs.
And before we leave, it's time for us to do Trust Your Tarot with Heidi. Heidi, what are the tarot cards telling us this week?
I don't know if we can call it Trust Your Tarot because I've been doing oracle cards now.
Oh, okay. Trust your oracle.
Trust your oracle. It doesn't
Trust your oracle,
flow. It doesn't flow as well, but
not as well. No,
I don't know. I just when I do just like one card pulls, I just feel like I like the oracle decks.
That's fine.
And as I say one card, we get like a bunch. But this is the only one that came. This was the only one that was flew out face up. So I'm going to use that one.
Okay.
Ooh. So we got the moose, which says authority.
Oh.
Which that's really cool. I've actually never gotten this card before. But it feels like, to me, authority is also just like speaking your truth. And I think because we're sharing our stories and being vulnerable and saying these things that maybe you haven't told anybody, it is vulnerable, but you're also speaking with authority because it's your actual stories, your actual truth. And there's something so powerful in being able to find a safe space to speak your truth and show your authority. So keep doing it, guys. Keep sending it to us.
Yeah. Hold up that card again because it looks really cool. It's
really pretty.
The moose inside the antlers of the moose is this, looks like a goddess being held up in jewels and like, looks like she's protected too. I love that.
Oh yeah.
It's like
she's kind of in the, like, it's almost like a bed of antlers, and it's very pretty. And it's very high. Like they have it like the moose is above the clouds and above the trees. So it's almost, it's very spiritual.
So maybe it's like, speak your truth and we're going to protect you. We'll elevate you from all the ickies. Just say it. Just say it.
Look at
Get
you.
it out there.
Look at you doing your interpretation, sissy.
You know.
I love it. Thank you.
I have a good mentor, you.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. If you like this, please share and send us your stories. Don't forget. And until next time, it's your move, sis.
Make it count. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.